What's up guys, Sammy D here, it's Kart Life, and I'm here with top 10 tips and strategies for Mario Kart Tour for beginners. Perhaps you're just coming to the game for the first time, perhaps you've been playing for a while but still confused about how some things work, or just need some strategic approaches to help you improve your game. If it's your first time here, please just hit like and subscribe for more Mario Kart Tour content. I'm doing weekly ranked cup previews, new tour previews, reaction videos, pipe polls coming up, plus characters and courses I hope to see in Mario Kart Tour coming very soon. So a quick overview to start. Mario Kart Tour is a really massive game with lots of point systems and currencies. And there's a lot to make sense of if you're new to the game. It's kind of confusing at first. So before I get into the tips, I want to break down the point system so you understand what we're working with here. Mario Kart Tour, for the first time in the Mario Kart franchise, is a point-based game. It's not just about coming in first this time. It's about coming in first and getting as many points along the way as possible. So the first and most basic point system in Mario Kart Tour is the points you earn in a race. So these include bonus points you earn while chaining combos through your race and doing special moves and special skills that your kart or driver might have, plus position points, which is a set amount that you earn for placing first or second or third in whatever class you're in. These position points display at the beginning of every race. They're higher the higher class you are and the higher player level you are. I'll get to more on that later. Then you have daily experience points. And these are the points you get after a race is tallied, and you get points added to the base point value of the driver, kart, and glider you're racing with. And the way these work is you get 150 a day to the driver, 150 to the kart, 150 to the glider. I'll explain a little more about this too. Then you have player level points. Up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, there's a player level that grows with no cap every time you race. More on this soon too. You've got your base points for your drivers, karts, and gliders. That's what you get those daily EXP towards. And your base points max out at certain amounts for each tier. The normal tiers, the super tiers, and the high-end tiers of your drivers, karts, and gliders. Then you have skill level. This is a really important one. It's the skill level for each driver, kart, and glider, and as you increase skill level, either through pulling or buying duplicate items or using skill level tickets, which are free on the normal class of items if you're a free-to-play player. If you're a gold pass player, you get super tickets and high-end tickets as well for levels. And these basically level up each item, and you have more potential of what they can do, be it combo time for a glider or frenzy chance for a driver. Okay, then we have currencies. There's a few different currencies in this game. Grand stars are first. This isn't a currency as much as just a way to work through the tour. You just earn grand stars as you do each race, and you unlock future gifts with grand stars. Then you have rubies. Rubies are pretty much everything, because that's how you pull the pipe. You can do 10 pulls with 45 rubies or a single pull with 5 rubies. You can also use rubies to play Coin Rush, which gets you extra coins, which leads me to coins. Coins are also big in this game because you use them in the shop to buy things you need from the current daily selects. It's a set amount of things that are in the shop every day. And you can see that daily select list in your news tab under the item that announces the tour. The first item for each tour announces the daily selects for that tour. You can always check that. You also get coins through gifts throughout the tour, daily login bonuses sometimes, completing 3 challenges in a row or in a line on the challenge pages. Going up each player level, you get 100 coins unless it's every 5 player levels, in which you get 5 rubies. Down the line, if you max something out to level 6, you will get coins if you pull that item. And then you earn coins as you race, actually, 300 a day as a set limit. But you can break that limit. More on this soon as well. Coins, by the way, happen to be considered kind of the best item for frenzies because it really helps you extend your combo, and it's worth a lot of points. You can get a ton of coins in a coin frenzy. So just keep that in mind too. Okay, almost done with the intro. Lastly, there are tiers. Tiers are basically just a designation for Ranked Cup, kind of signifying where you are in the game. And you'll see how it works in Ranked Cup. When you place in the top 3, you go up a certain amount of tiers. Now, one more major note and major disclaimer. This game has major pay-to-win elements. When the game was announced in the beta test and in the early days of the game, this game had a terrible reputation for the pay-to-win elements. It's a gacha-based game where you're summoning random things from pipe. They could be very valuable or not valuable at all. People who have lots of money can buy rubies to pull pipes and basically get whatever they want. There's no limit to how much people could spend on the game. To enjoy Mario Kart Tour, you have to kind of accept this and then work within that framework. And it's very possible to do that. Just accept that right now. There are people paying to win the game. And there are advantages players will have from putting a little money into the game. But a really nice solution to this is the Gold Pass. For $5 a month, you can get extra gifts and lots of extra rubies and coins throughout a tour. Listen, if you like Mario Kart and you basically think you're going to be playing this game and you're going to have a lot of fun playing it, I think it's very easy to justify putting $5 a month toward it. That's my personal opinion. The way I think about it is like a Switch game costs $60. You're playing the game for 12 months. That's $5 a month. That's $60. Am I going to get that much enjoyment out of Mario Kart Tour? I absolutely already have. I had within a few weeks already. And with the amount that the Gold Pass can help you in the game with rubies and coins and Gold Pass gifts, drivers, and things like this, it's absolutely worth it for less than the price of a fancy latte. I know we're all paying a lot of things these days, but if you love Mario Kart and want to play the game and get the most out of the game, you absolutely should do Gold Pass, in my opinion. You also get 200cc unlocked for Gold Pass, which really doesn't do that much. It's faster. You don't get more position points for finishing first in 200cc, but you do get more player level points by finishing first on 200cc. That's your overall tally in that upper left corner. Once again, that's always going up, unless it's going down when you're losing a race, but I'll get into that later. So let's get into the top 10. And remember, these are just my personal strategies. I have my strategies for the game. They've done me really well. I want to share them with you guys. I like to think of it as micro strategies. It's a lot of very subtle decisions that you make during the game of how to use your coins, how to use a ticket, when to pull. And it all comes down for me to being patient and only doing things when you have to. That would be my one guiding rule for this entire game. Be patient and only do things when you have to. If that doesn't make sense, keep listening. Okay, number one, the first thing to do, check your settings. Make sure your settings are configured for optimal play. Manual drift, you probably want on. This is the default for people who know Mario Kart, they've been playing the other games. You want to get the full drift potential. You want to get the Ultra Mini Turbo, which you can only get through manual drift. You hop and start your drift. Drifting is everything in this game. It can help you chain combos, and the Ultra Mini Turbo can really give you the points you need to connect your combo. When you first start playing this game, the play controls feel awful. My friends and I were texting us like, this is trash. And I did not think a Mario Kart game with auto driving would work. But if you stick with it, and please do, I'm telling you, the play control crosses this learning curve and is all of a sudden amazing. They've somehow figured out a way for this to be as satisfying a game to race on as every other Mario Kart game in the past. So stick with it and cross that learning curve, and you're gonna love how the play control works once you do. Smart steering, turn it off. This game already has invisible walls that keep you on the track. You can't go way off-roading like you used to in Mario Kart 64. So boundaries are already limited. You don't need additional smart steering to help you out. If you wanna play with your little cousin or something like that, give them some smart steering, but you don't need it. Auto item you probably want to try off, but there's pros and cons to both. Auto item means that if you're holding items, when you hit your next item blocks, they will automatically release and bring you new items from the item boxes. This is cool because sometimes you accidentally keep an item and you want to go for 3 items for a frenzy, but it can also be tough if you're trying to save a banana peel or a mushroom for a certain moment to keep your combo going, and you hit an item block and all of a sudden the mushroom is gone. You might want auto item off so you can use items when you want to, not just when you hit another item block. I say auto item off, but there might be times you want to try it auto item on. Play around with it, see what you think. Gyro handling, I'd say off. There's a tilt control component you can use. I don't think you need it. Power saving off will display the mini map, so make sure you have power saving off unless you absolutely have to save power. Music can be off if you want to. That way you can listen to podcasts and things. I think the music in this game is phenomenal, just like every Mario Kart game. But you can turn it off and listen to a podcast or something while you race. It's kind of fun. Number 2, in this game, combos are everything. As I said, for the first time in Mario Kart history, there's a point-based system to how you progress in this game. Frenzies have been introduced, which is when you get 3 of the same item and you go ballistic. It's massive for keeping combos going and for earning points. So the way you keep your combo going in this game is to have action after action after action, event after event after event, hitting a coin, hitting someone else, doing a jump boost, getting an Ultra Mini Turbo, and your combo will keep going until you get fantastic, fantastic, excellent. You want to keep your combo going as long as possible for the best final score in the race. Leveling up your glider will increase your combo time. That means you have a little bit longer to work with between each action before you have to hit the next action. So you want your combo time higher and higher. You'll be leveling up your gliders as you go through this game to get the best combo time. There's a little thing that happens in like 200cc, you're going faster, so you can actually get from coin to coin or thing to thing a little bit faster and keep combos going sometime. You might experiment with that a little bit if you're struggling on like a ranked cup track, which leads me to number 3, focus on ranked cup. So what is Ranked Cup? During the 2 weeks of a tour, you have the first week and the second week. During both of these weeks, you have 2 different ranked cups. It's a random cup that's selected usually from the early part of the tour, and then the second ranked cup of the tour is usually a few cups over from that one. They usually involve some of the spotlight drivers or rare drivers, and as you get more characters, you'll have more advantages in the ranked cup. The second ranked cup of each tour is announced a few days early, like on a Saturday morning, so make sure you check the Mario Kart Tour Twitter and also the in-game news for the announcement of the next ranked cup. So in the ranked cup, your combined score of the 3 actual races in the cup, not the 4th challenge round, but your combined score for the 3 races gives you a grand total, and you get matched against 19 random players. They may or may not be in your same tier. In fact, it seems lately they've been putting you against people in higher tiers. And if you place in the top 3 or the top 4 or 5, you get rewards. And for the top 3, you get ruby rewards in addition to coins and moving up 1, 2, or 3 tiers. You can click on those rewards in the Ranked Cup leaderboard and just see what you're working for. Focusing on Ranked Cup and winning this thing every week is huge because it's the best way to get a lot of rubies. You get rubies from tour gifts and challenges and things like this and leveling up 5 player levels, but to get a big chunk of rubies at once, it's the best thing you can do towards getting more pipe pulls. Here's the catch. The 19 players you're placed with are not necessarily placed with you. They don't have the same list. They have their own list of 19 random players. So what this means is, like, say you have someone in second that's creeping up on you. They might jump up above you, but that's not because they're looking at your score trying to beat you. That's because they have someone higher than them that they're trying to beat. It creates this chain reaction where you never know exactly what's going to happen. You always have to stay ahead and earn the best possible score you can on Ranked Cup. It takes some grinding, it takes some work, it takes some micro strategy on how to level things up to have the best chance in Ranked Cup. That's what you want to focus on. And you can kind of swipe over to the little friends tab and see how all your friends are doing in Ranked Cup too. So since getting these rubies and tiering up in Ranked Cup is so important, you basically want to focus all your energy on the drivers, karts, and gliders you need for these 3 races this week, and look ahead to the next Ranked Cup if it's announced and focus on those ahead of time as well. You want to be looking for things you might need in the shop. You want to be thinking about how many level up tickets you have and are going to get, and how to allocate them to the people, karts, and gliders you need on these tracks to get the best overall score. There are level tickets at the end of the tour in those gifts that you might want to use quick tickets to access, or even star tickets to open up, so that you can use them within the week you need them. And I only use level tickets on things I need for the week's Ranked Cup. It served me very well to be very conservative in this regard and use those things very strategically. Getting high scores in Ranked Cup is almost always about Frenzies, which is based on your driver's level, or Combo Time, which is based on your glider level, or both. The kart points don't matter quite as much. Frenzies and combos are very important. So you want to focus on characters you can level up, gliders you can level up, and then also karts you can level up. You'll see on each track in the Ranked Cup, there's a top shelf, a middle shelf, and a bottom shelf. The top shelf is where you can actually get frenzies on a driver. And it's a little bit mysterious and confusing still how all these bonus points work. But from what I understand, if you don't have something in the top shelf for your driver, kart, or glider, you don't get to access the main feature of that item. You'll get some bonus points, and again, I'm not sure how it exactly works out, but point being, you want to almost always focus on the top shelf and try to get those things. This is when you might want to consider doing 10 pipe pulls. More on that in a second. If you do have a frenzy driver, just don't give up. Keep doing race after race after race. Eventually you're going to get the frenzies you need to get a huge score, trust me. That in combination with knowing the exact lines to keep your combos going, that's the way. Number 4, upgrade your base points for your drivers, karts, and gliders, but really only when you have to. You get daily points toward your base points every day. 150 to the driver, 150 to the kart, 150 to the glider, as long as you're using non-maxed out things. Base points are what you get when you start the race. So you have your driver, kart, and glider, you add the base points together, that's what you start with when the race starts. You can see it tally when you load up. Everything has a starting base point and a max base point. Normal tier has a max base point of like 600, high-end drivers have 800 max points, and so on and so forth. As you get higher and higher with base points, the number it takes to reach the next base point threshold gets a little higher. So you can use these red point boost tickets to increase your base points for any of these things. And you'll earn lots of these tickets as you play the game. These base point tickets also apply to any category of driver, kart, glider, normal, super, or high end. But only use these when you have to, because you can work the system of getting your free daily XP for drivers, karts, and gliders, and just keep working it daily that way, and you won't have to use all of your tickets necessarily. I maxed out most of my gliders, for example, without using most of my glider tickets. Now I have a bunch of tickets left over. Now if I get a new glider, I can just throw tons of tickets onto it if I want to. You get daily EXP though for drivers, karts, and gliders, so you might as well take them for free. Number 5 is very similar. Upgrade your skill levels, but only when you have to. So once again, skill level is what really ups your driver, kart, or glider to the next point earning level. For gliders, again, combo time increases the higher your level is. It's huge for the game. For drivers, it's frenzy chance. So you can use these skill level tickets to very strategically up the levels of the drivers, karts, and gliders you need for ranked cup. This is a big deal, maybe the biggest deal in the game. When you get a duplicate thing, it ups the level as well. Or not the level, but what it takes to get to the next level. As you go higher and higher and higher, you need not just 1 ticket, but maybe 2 tickets, 3 tickets, or in the case of normal category, 11 or 15 tickets to get between level 5 and level 6, which is the max level. Nice thing about the supers and the high ends, they take fewer tickets to get to those higher levels. They also cost more in the coin shop, and high-end tickets are very scarce. If you have Gold Pass, it's the only way to get high-end tickets, and they come just 1 of each variety in the last 3 gifts of each tour. And you can always bank on them being there and think about how you're going to use them to your advantage in ranked cup. So save these and use these only when you have to. It takes some patience, but it's worth it. A lot of times in ranked cup, I wait to see how good I can do, how high a score I can get without having to use any tickets to upgrade anything. It might be that you can get to number 1 without upgrading a high-end driver. You might be able to get it as it is. Then you can procure first place and have that ticket still in your pocket for next time. By the way, when you get something to level 6, it's the max level. And what happens is if it's something that appears in the daily selects of the shop, like a bomb glider was the first thing I got to level 6. From that point onward, if a bomb glider were to appear in the shop, in place of that item, you get a random level ticket. It could be normal ticket, it could be super, I think it could be high end, I haven't seen one yet, but it could be driver, kart, or glider. So as you get more things to level 6, more tickets will be unlocked in the shop. Eventually you'll be seeing more and more of them, and you can use those towards anything and not be confined to just whatever's in the shop. Number 6, every day focus on your dailies. You get your daily EXP to your driver, kart, and glider. You get 150 to each, remember, and if something's maxed out, you are wasting those points. So every day, start racing with things that maybe aren't necessarily even top shelf, but drivers, karts, and gliders that are not yet maxed out with base points, because you get those free EXP every day. You get 10 points for first place, 9 points for second place, and so on and so forth. And that's the little numbers that add up as it tallies. And it's gonna give you a warning when you're 30 EXP or less away from the limit. You can break that limit. Let's say you have amount of EXP remaining, 3. Well, if you get first place in the next race, you're gonna get 10 EXP points to each of those things. It's gonna go over that 3 remainder, and you're gonna get 7 extra EXP points than you would otherwise. Daily coins is the same. You get 300 a day, but check this out. Abdallah on YouTube kind of pioneered the limit break theory. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But you can get over 300 coins a day. You can get 400 coins a day. All you have to do is count your coins as you get them, use your calculator or notepad or whatever you want to do. Try to get to exactly 299. When you're in like 270 or 280, you might want to do a time trial where you can get exactly to 299. Then go to a track where you can rack in tons of coins on. If you have a coin box character, if you get coin frenzies, you can get up to 100 coins over that 300 limit before you're cut off. If you think about it, it's 400 coins a day, 2,800 coins a week. It's pretty good. It's there for the taking every day, and coins really help you in this game, so get at least your coin dailies every day. Number 7, then go for your stars. Sometimes you're racing with things that need daily EXP and you can't quite get the 5 stars on the very first pass. That's okay. Go ahead and finish out your daily EXP or daily coins, then go back, use top shelf things, and get any grand stars that you have remaining. Remember, you can't spend grand stars on anything. It's not really currency, but they do open the gifts that await you through the tour. Now, if you're just starting out, you might not get every grand star on every track, especially toward the end of the tour. But there's kind of a built-in buffer for that in the game. The challenge pages, which feature little tasks you have to do to earn extra stars, and you get more of these challenges if you're Gold Pass, by the way, give you extra chances to earn grand stars. Plus, there are daily challenges where you get 1 grand star a day for doing the daily challenge. Always make sure you get that as well. If you're crushing it and getting every grand star and have opened all your gifts, at that point, if you get additional grand stars for daily challenges or other challenges, you get 100 coins instead of the grand star. So it's a nice way to earn a little bit extra money at the end of the tour. By the way, the 4th little challenge in each cup, they're really fun. You get 3 grand stars for each, and they're relatively easy. If you're new to the game, you might have to work on some of them a few times, but you can usually count on those 3 grand stars each cup as well. Number 8, you're always playing for player level XP. Again, that's in the upper left corner. It's this little bar that keeps raising. Let's say you're racing on 150cc. You get between 2 and 4% added to that little bar of player XP every time you come in first place. When you come in second or third, it's a little less. When you come in fourth, it's 0%. If you come in 5th to 8th, you actually lose a little bit on that meter. And here's how you can think of it. Each track has around 100% available to you. So let's say you're getting 2 or 3% when you're getting first place on the same track over and over and over. It will go down a little bit the more you race, but you can get up to 100% total from that track. When you hit that, it stops. You don't get any more into your meter from that track. You'll notice this happening and you're like, what happened? I didn't get any XP. That's because you drained the track. As you go, you're gonna drain tracks that you play most frequently, and it's never gonna come back. So you might wanna focus on new tracks or tour exclusive tracks to get the most amount of XP before those tracks disappear. And you can always get more XP on other tracks later. By the way, you also lose a little bit in the meter if you quit out of the game, inside the game through settings quit, or if you force quit the app completely. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that the reverse variants and the trick variants and the RT variants, those have their own whole pot of XP, 100% worth for you to earn. Now, like I said, you level up in player level. So when you reach 100 in that meter, you go to the next player level. Every 5 on the even 10s and 5s, you get 5 rubies for doing this. Every other one is 100 coins. It's something you can plan for and kind of strategize with. Leveling up also increases your position points. Now remember, that's the set amount you get for placing first place or second place or third place. It goes up just by, I think, 20 points each time, but overall, over time, it adds up. There's also some other advantages, like when you hit player level 12, which you want to do as soon as possible, you open up 3 new slots in the shop, so you get 9 things every day in the selects, not just 6. So get to 12 as soon as you can. Then there's other things like when you hit player level 20 or 40, you unlock certain challenges for rubies and get cool badges. Right now, it goes up to level 99 and then it stops. We're not sure what's going to happen after this. And remember, while there is a daily coin limit and a daily EXP limit for your drivers, karts, and gliders, there's no daily limit for how much you can work on your player level. If you just want to play all day, you could go up 2 or 3 levels if you play enough times. I find that playing like an hour or 2 a day, I get to a new level every 2 days, basically. I'm not in a rush to get to player level 99, but it is nice to get those extra position points and to get the rewards for leveling up. Number 9, go shopping. The point of coins is to buy things in the shop, right? There's daily selects. It's a set list of what's going to be in the shop. You can see that in your news. And don't be afraid to buy stuff that you think you'll need for Ranked Cup or characters you don't have yet. Always good to have things you don't have yet. High-end items can appear in the shop. They're very rare. Things like Metal Mario, Dry Bowser, or the much coveted Gold Glider. But these cost 10 to 12,000 coins, so you want to be saving if you can as well. The neat thing about Mario Kart Tour is that for the first time in the history of the game, also, different tracks require different combinations of drivers, karts, and gliders. So you want to have a really well-rounded lineup ultimately and get the things you don't have. And don't underestimate just having the characters that you love. For example, I love Toad, so I wanted to buy him as soon as possible, and it actually helps me racing sometimes to have characters I love. As for what else to buy, you might consider the special skills of each driver, kart, or glider. For example, Donkey Kong has the Giant Banana. Giant Banana is great for combos because you drop one and you can get up to 4 hits out of it, increasing your combos. So you might want to focus on first buying characters that have good lists of tracks that they are top shelf on, and you can see that by long pressing on any driver, kart, or glider to see all their stats. Gliders are always a great thing to focus on because, like I said, as you get more of them and level them up, this is where you get your combo time, which is everything for getting a high score on Ranked Cup. And remember, if you buy or pull something you already have, it just gives another tick toward the overall level of that thing. So it's a good thing. You'll also find base point tickets in here, item tickets, and quick tickets sometimes. So if you're trying to finish finish that challenge that's in there somewhere of like get a certain amount of items, buying tickets for cheap might be a nice way to do that. Now remember, in your news feed, it says what the daily selects are, so always be aware of what's in there. And the shop changes whenever the new day changes, so I really love seeing what's in the shop every day. The final thing, number 10, pulling the pipe. Here's how it works. Rubies are the main currency in this game because that's how you pull the pipe. Again, you get 10 pulls for 45, 1 pull for 5. Doing 10 for 45 actually gets you 1 free pull rather than doing a bunch of single pulls. So you want to try to save for 45 rubies, 10 pulls. There's 2 pipes each tour. One comes the first week, one comes the second week. Usually the first pipe stays through the second week, and you can see the dates of when the pipes are active if you just look right there on the pipe. Also available to you are the rates of what is in the pipe. This is very important. Click details on the pipe to see exactly what's in there. Now this is a little confusing at first. There's so many things listed with these infinitesimally small percentages, but the way to understand it is that top box where it shows you you're gonna get 1 high-end driver, 1 high-end cart, 1 high-end glider, and that one thing will be one of the high-end things listed below. It will be a random one from that batch. Here's where it gets really crazy. Every pipe has spotlight, drivers, carts, and gliders. These are guaranteed to be in the pipe. All 3 of those featured spotlight things are gonna be in the pipe if you pull all 100 items from that pipe. But you only have 1 in 100 chance of getting each one of them. You're gonna be pulling the pipe to do one of 2 things. Getting a spotlight that you really want or need, for example, for the ranked cup, or getting lots of extra things. If you're first starting the game, you're gonna wanna do as many 10 pulls every chance you can just to get new things. Get new things in your inventory. You're gonna get duplicates. When you get duplicates, it's gonna increase that skill level. So while it's frustrating to get duplicates of especially the normal common things, and believe me, I've gotten so many babies and marshmallow carts and all these things. It can be incredibly frustrating, but in the long term, you're gonna be leveling these things up, so keep that in mind. What you really want is the gold pipe. When you click that pipe pull, you're gonna see this nice scene with the toads getting really excited, filled with anticipation, and it's either gonna be a green pipe or a gold pipe. If it's a gold pipe, you're guaranteed to get a spotlight or high end. You know something really good is in there. If it's a green pipe, it's probably a bunch of common things. But there is a chance though with the green pipe for a little star to appear and one of your pulls to become a spotlight or high-end driver. So just because it's a green pipe, don't give up all hope. So there's all sorts of strategies about when to pull the pipe, right? It's the biggest question of the game. It will drive you crazy when to pull. Like I said, when you're starting out, you're gonna wanna pull very often as you can to get as much stuff as you can to start out your arsenal. But once you've really built a little bit of an inventory, you might think about saving your rubies only for when you have to pull for ranked cup. If you have no top driver or no top glider and you want to go after those spotlights, then you might think about pulling, especially if those spotlight drivers and carts and gliders are going to help you down the line. You want to hold down on these spotlight things in the inventory screen, even if they're grayed out, to see what tracks they have, to see what special skills they have. Think about which special skills are really gonna help you in the game overall. Like I said, coin box and coin characters are huge because you can always use them for limit breaking. Plus, coin frenzies are probably the best frenzy in the game. If you can get to first in ranked without pulling at all and without going for spotlights, that's the goal. Unless you just really want a spotlight character. Like in the first Tokyo tour, I wanted Kimono Peach and Hakama Mario so bad. I love Japanese stuff. I really wanted them. So I pulled every chance I could. One fun little trick to keep in mind, when the ranked cup results come in every Tuesday late night, you'll get a ruby reward if you're in the top 3. You'll have 1 hour between receiving those rewards and the actual end of the tour when it crosses over into the next week or next tour, in which you can do more pulls on that pipe before it goes away. This is actually how I got my Kimono Peach. I didn't have any rubies left, and on the last night of the Tokyo tour, I got some rubies, enough to do a few pulls, and I got Kimono Peach in that last hour of the pipe. So that's it. Those are the top 10 tips and strategies for new players to Mario Kart Tour, or if you've already been playing, hopefully some of these things helped you out. Be sure to click my video on Mario Kart Tour FAQ, frequently asked questions, for probably some things I forgot to get to in this video. There's still things like Coin Rush and other things I forgot to talk about, but we gotta cut this off. I hope these 10 tips helped you. Remember, my #1 rule for Mario Kart Tour: be patient and only do things when you have to. It's gonna get you far and you're gonna crush it. Have fun with this game. It's an amazing game, It drives you crazy. We love it. We hate it. It's so competitive. It's so well designed, and you can get really far without dropping lots of money or any money on the game. Get your gold pass, have fun. Mario Kart Tour. I'm Sammy D. This is Kart Life. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. Peace.